Good afternoon, Marty. How are you today?
Good afternoon. I'm good. How are you?
I am fantastic, Marty. Delighted to be back in Northern Ireland after a couple of weeks in the sun. So, Marty, thanks very much for agreeing to take part in the Business Spotlight series. Could we start by telling me a little about yourself and your business, please?
Yeah. Well, I started the business during COVID in October 2020. Started off myself. I branded it as Pugman Media, and the reason I done that is because I have three rescue pugs, and I couldn't decide the name, so I just started drawing a wee logo one day, and I got bored and started drawing the pugs, and that's where that came from. So in the space of nearly 3 years, it went from myself into the house and into now this is our third office space now, and a team of up to basically 7 staff now, not including myself, 8 staff overall.
And what was the spark, Marty, that led you to launch the business?
Well, I've done like marketing media now for over 10 years, and I've always worked for a lot of people. And I always had the idea of I want to do it by myself. I want to go it by myself. And I was always a bit nervous about doing it because I was always had a comfortable job and it was always, the safety cushion. But then when COVID hit, I started with a new company just before it, and they made me go for self-employment. And because of self-employment, there was no furlough, no grants, nothing at all. And that essentially pushed me to go, right, well, I've got nothing to lose now. I might as well go out and go for it. So after a few months of kind of coming up with ideas, I went out for it and went for the company, and I just took off from there.
Okay, tell me, describe the type of person or business that would benefit most from the service that you offer.
Yeah. Well, we're essentially like a media marketing company. So we do from things from graphic design, websites, photography, video animations, kind of everything to do with media marketing, especially online. So it's essentially business to business. We've worked from like a sole trader to multi-million pound companies. It's basically anyone who looking to grow their business and reach out to new marketing ways, contact us. And it can be something simple from a wee logo to a brand new website to a total rebrand to just continuously marketing with them. So basically anyone who's in business looking to grow.
And what would you say has been the most significant lesson that you've learned so far as a business owner?
One thing I definitely learned is time management, because I know myself, like there's times I'm sitting like even simple things like just scroll through my phone and going, what am I doing here? I'm wasting time, to going, right, I'll do this and do this. Then next minute you're jumping between different jobs and you're not focused on one task. And next thing you know, you're cleared. So it's that thing, sitting like I'm doing this to this for this time, and that's it. And then this next time and next time, and pencil in periods of time for certain things. And once you start managing your time, everything else becomes a lot more organized. I think that was one of the main things, because at the start I was taking on so much. I was like trying to do my books, trying to manage staff, trying to bring in work, trying to do work, and I just kind of trying to do it all in the same time. But once I start putting a bit of structure into things, it goes, this period's for that thing, this period's for that, etc. It kind of brought more organization, and then I knew exactly where I was when I was.
And are there any business leaders, either in your industry or in business in general, that you've looked up to or that would inspire you?
Yeah, actually. So before I moved back home, I was living in Scotland. I was here for nearly 10 years. And I moved from Aberdeen to Edinburgh. And I was actually a general manager of a nightclub. So I just walked this nightclub, and I was told to make it busy, but I had zero budget. The place wasn't in great condition. It was just kind of like, what am I doing here? So the guy I worked with before that, he was my area manager. I was under him for about 5 years. I just picked him up one day and went, that's my situation. What do I do? He goes, you've got two choices here. You can play the manager and you can stand on the door the weekends where you're sit on, chatting to people and looking the part, or you can actually be the manager. And by saying that, he meant going out, grafting, speaking to people, bringing 10 people in here, 10 people here, so on, so on, and building it up. And he just said, it's up to you what kind of manager you want to be. Play the manager and look the part, or be out and doing the work. And that was a guy called JP McGibbon. And I worked with him for overall about 6 years. And he was just, even to this day, he's still doing it now, and he's still smashing it. So I always look at him and go, aye, that's the kind of thing I want to do.
Excellent. That's a great example, great share. What would you say, what's been one of the toughest obstacles that you've had to overcome in your business journey so far?
I would say starting up during COVID was the hardest part, because at that time, I was starting a new business, so I was learning a lot of new things as went along. Uh, Obviously, COVID was a very uncertain time. So especially when it comes to like marketing media, people were kind of not wanting to spend money because they didn't know when things were going back to normal, if it was going back to normal. And then again, like they were short in cash, so they want to spend money. So that was a really difficult time to start up. I remember thinking to myself, if I can get through this, then surely I'm on to winner, because this couldn't get much harder than this. Because there's times I was speaking to people and they're like, I don't know if my business is going to survive. I don't know if it's going to open again. And when you are business to business and nobody knows what's around the corner, it's a scary time. So that was definitely the hardest part.
And if you bring it up to, I guess, the present day, so we're now in the second half of 2023, you know, what gives you, what drives your passion for your business right now?
Well, again, one of my most favorite thing about what we do is that we help businesses grow. So I guess I've seen like me start off as a single guy just ringing me up going, I need a logo, building that into a brand, building his website, building his social media, building everything, and seeing him going from just by himself to a very successful business. I've done it with quite a few people. I've done it with different businesses already established, but watching people grow and expand their business and knowing you're being part of that, it's really that kind of thing, because I enjoy it. And if you enjoy your job, you're not really working in my eyes. I know it's a cliche thing to say, but I worked for a company when I was 17 for 4 years. It was a full-time job and I despised it. I woke up every day, like, trying to get out of bed, my alarm going off, going, oh. Don't get me wrong, I don't get out of bed in the mornings, clap my hands, go, yes, time to go to work. But at the same time, I get up and I do generally enjoy what I'm doing. So to me, that's, if you enjoy what you're doing, you don't need any more motivation than that.
Yeah, it's very true. It is very true. And if you could go back in time, theoretically, and go back and give some advice to the 18-year-old Marty, what would that advice sound? Would he listen to it? And what would it sound like?
The first thing would be get rid of the blonde tips, because you used to have a hair, you used to have wee blonde tips. I thought it was like a Backstreet Boy or something. So I tell myself to get rid of that. I looked awful. Just shave it even back then. That'd be the first thing I would tell myself. After that, at the time I was very uncertain what I was doing. I actually came from an engineering background, and I spent 4 years doing an apprenticeship in engineering, 4 years at uni studying engineering, and I never used it. I knew to enjoy it, but I just thought, I have to do this because I have to do something. So it's that kind of thing. Find something you enjoy what you're doing and make that work for you.
Brilliant. Great story. And so tell me, if we look forward now, what is it what are you most excited about your business now and for the rest of 2023 and beyond?
Well, we've got a few new partners coming in here to do work with. So we've signed a few new contracts over the last few weeks, and I'm very looking forward to expanding to that. We're actually also launching a new product. I don't know if you've seen the NFC cards. So you essentially tap it off your phone, chips into on the phone, and it takes you to like a website link. So we basically brought everything in to make these in-house. And we're actually building a system where you can log in, edit your own files, edit your own links, edit your own designs. It's set up for anybody who's got no website knowledge. And the thing with it as well, which kind of makes us different from the other companies doing it, is that we can actually store files on it. So like a salesman could go with a card, tap it, and all his PDFs, his files, everything he needs is there as one simple click of a button. So we're looking to launch that here in a few weeks. And then again, the new deals we've got coming up are very exciting. So it's a very, very good period for us right now.
Good stuff. Delighted to hear it. And there seems to be a lot of things going on. If somebody has listened to this and it's tapped into their interest, and somebody wanted to reach out to you, Marty, what's the best way for people to get in touch?
I would just go for your website, which is pugmanmedia.com. Just go for there and build a wee contact form and someone get back in touch.
Fantastic. Well, Marty McNally from Pugman Media, thank you very much for your time this afternoon. Thanks for appearing on the Business Spotlight, and I wish you and your team all the success for the rest of 2023 and beyond. Thanks you very much indeed for your time. Cheers, Marty.
No problem, Pierre. Thanks for having me.